Hey everybody, welcome into another Battlegrounds video. Today they've released a patch 17.4.1, mostly a Battlegrounds patch notes. There was a change to Demon Hunter, which I think is pretty big, but whatever. So today they announced some buffs, actually, mostly buffs. So Drax's hero power is going from 2 mana to 1. Obviously, huge change. It's great. I don't think he's gonna be obviously not gonna be like tier 1, or maybe he'll like be really low on tier 2 with this. But yeah, this is just a nice quality of life change. Drax is a horrible hero. So yeah, so obviously any sort of buff, let's get there. Reno, one of my all-time just my favorite like guilty pleasure hero. I think this is everybody's guilty pleasure hero. Is going from 3 mana down to 2. I did not expect them to buff this. So I see Renos do pretty well in higher tier. They usually, like, the problem with Reno is that you get first or second, or you get like 7th or 8th. So you get like Golden Baron like right away, or Golden Bran, or whatever. Or you just like have to do it on like some terrible minion and like hope you do okay with it. So yeah, so this is awesome that they're buffing it. And then next we've got Maleficent Mana Storm. So she's the mech hero that gives +2 attacks to all mechs when she buys them. Now it's going to 1/1. Now this change is actually very big, because having a plus attack in the early game doesn't matter whatsoever. Like if you have 2 health, it's gonna die to everything, right? But if you have 3 health, like there's some 2 attack minions now I can trade with. So having the +1 health, getting you through that early game a little bit earlier, or like a little bit healthier, is absolutely the best thing you could do. So giving this buff is just massive. And then also for magnetic, I think that this is a buff to pretty much every single mech besides egg. I think that this is better on egg, and maybe it's even better on the Deflectobot. It's kind of middle, because like in the late game you'll scale a little bit better with the magnetics with the +1/+1, because usually if you're mechs, you're going to have the biggest attack anyway, especially if you get a brand in the build. But either way, I think this is an actual big buff. I think it's a bigger buff than Drax's. But this will put her like middle of tier 2, maybe just with Drax's low tier 2. Again, forcing strategies is just really bad. But I think getting like a Divine Shield taunt, even if you're like some random other build, I think that might be good enough with the magnetics and stuff. So we'll have to see. Maiev, this is the biggest change of the patch, in my opinion, because she was so horrible. She was like the worst hero, and so this is the suggestion I made, and this is actually how I thought she worked initially. So now when you use her hero power, it's just going to kind of scoot off to the side. All the dormant minions are going to be pushed off the side unless you're on tier 6. But oh my god, who is using her hero power on tier 6? Like, no one's like, man, you know what's going to be sick? Mama Bear, that's a +1/+1 in 2 turns. So yeah, you're never even going to use this. Unless, the only time you would ever use this is like you're rolling and you want to buy like a buff minion and you have 1 gold left. Like that's pretty much it. But yeah, early on, wow, this is insane. Like turn 1, you buy a token minion, sell the token back, use your hero power, and then you tier up the next turn, and then after that you're getting like a minion with +1/+1, like maybe a 2/3, and now it's a 3/4. Like that's a big change. And you're buying minions for free. In addition to that, even more is that there's the chick who sells back for 3 gold. You're buying it for 1 and getting it for 3. So you're generating real gold without eating up your tavern slots anymore. So yeah, I think Maiev is like certainly worth giving a shot. I think she's going to be without a doubt tier 1, just like I thought she was originally before we found out that she's the worst hero in the game because she eats up your roll slots. But yeah, huge change, huge change. But it again is only for her, so maybe it isn't the biggest change. Scavenger Hyena moved to tier 1. Now, kind of to just cut the spoiler alert, they switched the tiers of Sherlock and Scavenger Hyena. Hyena going to tier 1 is okay. Hyena doesn't make it to the late game like Sherlock does. Hyena, just kind of gets you to the mid game to get you where you need to be, So this going to tier 1 is, I think, fine. Them not even changing the buff or the stats or whatever, I think this is fine. Even on tier 1, like this is a pretty bad minion to buy because there's so many 2/3 minions that are offered now. Or even now the 2/1 with that summons the 1/1 pirate, like that beats that. So even if you see this like on your first pick, this is probably, you probably just want to avoid it. There's more copies of it, so that's cool. I'm sure that there's going to be some like crazy video with Dancing Daryl and making this card insane, but we'll have to see it, you know. But yeah, this is a pretty negligible change. I don't think most people notice it all that much. So Rabid Squirrel going to tier 2 is actually big for 2 reasons. The first being that Dancing Daryl and Captain Hooktusk make this minion, I think, just way above average. So everyone's seen the Dancing Daryl strat. Captain Hooktusk is newer, and right now she is the #1 win rate hero in the game. And I'll get to that a little later, but yeah, I think this is going to help keep maybe Captain Hooktusk a little bit in check. I think that Blizzard is hoping that this change is going to be big enough, but I don't think it will be. This being on tier 2 though is pretty huge. So this is really going to change up how tier 1 plays and how long you can stay on tier 1. Monstrous Macaw. This card is out of control. So yeah, for some reason, a tier 2 minion that gives your beast like +8/+8 or +16/16 has made it too good. You know, getting a 2, and then when it's golden, because you know getting tier 2 golden minions is really difficult to do. So yeah, I'm so glad this is getting nerfed. This is so crazy. Yeah, like even a 3/2 that does Spawn and N'Zoth. Like Spawn and N'Zoth is arguably the best death rattle on 2. So just getting another one with a little bit more stats, has an archetype, you know, has a type on it, which is always really big. Yeah, and then you go into the late game, which is where the problem lies, obviously. And then it just, yeah, giving +8/+4, you know, +16. Like, it's just so crazy. And it buffs itself because it's also a beast. I actually just made a beast video. It comes out tomorrow, so shameless plug. But I sell 2 mama bears. I sell a mama bear, play a Monstrous Macaw, sell the other one, play another Monstrous Macaw. Like, it's replacing my mama bears to get me to, like, the ultimate beast late game. So, absolutely crazy. They had some bug fixes. If anyone cares, Twin Slice is the card that they nerfed. Both are going to +1 mana, going to 2 attack. But yeah, that'll be a big change. But anyways, I'm surprised to not see a Captain Hooktusk nerf. If you go to HS Replay, Captain Hooktusk is in a league of her own. She is absolutely like dominating. She's over a half a position higher than everyone else. So she's currently, if you pick her, her average finish is 3.4, so 3.4 place. And under her is Rafam and Daryl and Kel'Thas at like 4. You know, they're like supposed to get 4th place. Her first place win rate is 25%. So not seeing her on here is absolutely crazy. And I don't think Sherlock is like the big problem with her. So I don't know. I'm kind of interested. I think that there's going to be a 17.4.2 that's going to address some Captain Hooktusk issues and maybe buff some more heroes, which would be great, but we'll see. Anyways, that's all I wanted to talk about. I think that the buffing bad heroes is so much better than nerfing good heroes, unless they're like Captain Hooktusk, who's like a whole entire tier above everyone else. Because right now there's so many heroes that are sitting at the like 4th place spot. And Captain Hooktusk just being out, you know, so recently and having such a good win percentage, I mean, it's only going to get higher, right? Because the more you play, the better you're going to get with them. So, anyways, that's it, guys. If you liked the video, hit the like, consider subscribing. And yeah, we're doing videos Tuesday and Friday, and you can watch the crazy Macaw video. I'll check you guys in the next one. Peace.